hiding my faith for maybe 1 year after that. And in the meanwhile, she maybe every month she got new evidence that I was a Muslim, because during the Ramadan I wasn't eating. Every time we had dinner, I said that I have been eating at school or at my friends' houses, and I'm sorry. And when she was cooking pork to me or non-halal food to me, I was always saying that I'm going to the gym or I'm going to play a football match. So I couldn't eat, because 2 hours before a match we can't eat something. And she noticing that, and that I wasn't eating during the Ramadan. And at the night she noticed that I went to the bathroom and was doing wudu for the Fajr prayer. And she saw new evidence each month, and she was confirming her proof from the others in the neighborhood, because everybody was talking about that I have become a Muslim. And after 1 year, she was calling everybody into a new family meeting again. And then she had discovered my new prayer mats, because the earlier prayer mats she had thrown them in the garbage. So then I realized that I shouldn't hide my faith anymore, because it's obvious. So I was telling her the whole truth, that I have been a Muslim for almost a year now, and I decided to become a Muslim because it seems more logic than Christianity, and it has better answers regarding life, regarding lifestyle, regarding everything, every subject in man's life. Islam got the answers. The answers I couldn't find in Christianity. And I'm not believing in the Trinity. It's not logic. I'm believing in one God, and I'm believing in the Quran and Rasulullah and so on. And then after the meeting, she was crying, and she said that she left me with two choices. The first one is to become a Christian again, and the next one was to moving out from the house. So alhamdulillah, I chooses the second choice. With the tawfiq of God and my good friends who supported me in every way, both emotionally and economically, I moved out, and I was living at with my friends. I was 1 week living with one friend, and at another week I was living at another friend's house. And I was looking for an apartment to rent nearby, because I want to attain my relationship with my family and my friends, and I want to go to the same school as I was going before. And it was difficult to find an apartment to rent, because I didn't have a job at that time, and I was 18 years old. And I was making dua to God to help me to find an apartment. And one of my friends was encouraging me to do agreement or contract with God. If that happened, I will do this sacrifice or starting doing that thing. So I was not praying Fajr always. So I said that if God will help me find an apartment, I will always pray Fajr. So the same night I was praying my Fajr. The next morning I was receiving a call from a man who was offering me a house to rent. And Alhamdulillah, God gave me the strength to do well at school. And I was getting a new good job. I was doing good at in life. I was doing it good, and I was taking my driving license, and my friends were supporting me, and that was a factor that was a factor that helped me to succeed. And maybe before summer 2008, I was reading much, because much of the question my family was had misconceptions towards Islam. They was asking me questions: why are Islam allowing this, and why are Islam allowing that, and so on. But at that moment before, when I was converting, I didn't have the answers. So I was reading and visiting mosque and talk with some scholars about it, some answers to that questions. So I answered them. When they was asking me question, I answered them. And before summer 2008, I was introduced with a guy from India, and he was a Muslim who seems very practicing, because he had the long beard and he always wear a distasha and so on. And we lived nearby, so we often went to the mosque together and prayed Salah in Jama'ah. And I didn't, I was always visiting Sunni mosques, and I was always reading Sunni books and hadiths and so on, because most of the Muslim was Sunnis, and most of my Muslims friends was also Sunnis. And when I heard that one of my friends had become Shia, I was surprised and I was shocked, because I thought that the Shia was misguided, because I have heard so many misconceptions about them. And when one of my friends became a Shia, I got more interested in Shia Islam. And at the same time, as I said earlier, I was meeting that Indian guy who was asking me whether I was a Sunni or a Shia. And I just answered him that I was Muslim. I haven't decided yet if I want to become a Shia or Sunni, and I want to read more and so on. And then he was telling me some narrations from hadith books where Rasulullah said in a narration that after me it's going to be 73 sects, and 72 of them will enter hell, but one of them will enter paradise, and that is the group that follow my way, my sunnah. So he encouraged me to find the right way, and he gave me some books from persons like Ibn Taymiyyah, Muhammad Abdul Wahab, and Dr. Bilal Phillips. And I was reading them, and he starting to talk with me about Shia Muslims. that I should avoid them because they are misguided and they trying to brainwash people to become Shia Muslims, and they are not following the way of the Holy Prophet, and they are not following the Quran. They have another Quran and they don't share the same